We're back. Another weekend working on the 58. I had to take a couple weeks off. We're putting in a lift over here, and that's kind of been consuming concrete work, all that fun stuff. But in the meantime, we've got a ton of stuff done on the wagon. So, and of course I didn't get it on tape or film or GoPro or whatever you want to call this thing. But let me show you what we've done here. So there it is. So as you can tell, firewall is painted. Previous video, I was debating whether or not to go blue or satin black. I ended up going with the satin black. The inner fenders will be satin, core support, all that stuff. Just kind of keep it clean and tidy. Went ahead and cleaned up the chassis and epoxied that. And obviously the LS1 is home. That's the first time this motor's been in this chassis. I had a 5.3 in it before, essentially the same fit and everything, other than this being a Camaro Corvette style motor. It's got the car pulley set up on the front. So alternator down below, AC down below. Generally when you're swapping these into cars, those can be a little bit crammed in there, but they fit really well actually. I need to clock the rack and pinion to get the steering aimed in the right direction. We have some good news coming up soon on the suspension side of things. That'll be for another episode. Let's see here. Oh, and those seats, they're out. Oh boy. So snowball effect, of course. Interior on this thing gutted. Went ahead and pulled out all the carpet, all that great house padding, seats. The floors are surprisingly sound. If you've seen the previous episodes, everything else I've been finding on this car has been questionable. So that's good news. We're gonna clean them up, get them sealed up. Then we're gonna lay down some Dynamite Extreme in there to help seal it up, keep some of the heat out, some of the cool in. We put Dynamite Extreme in everything. This Nash right here's got it. It just really helps seal up all the little tiny cracks, keeps the road noise down. We like to put it in the doors also, gives it a real solid feel. We put it in every one of our builds here, so why not throw it in my wagon? We got John's 67 Camaro. This car's coming along good too. It's got an LS3 in it, vintage air, building an ECM box for it, hide all the digital stuff. Paul's 69 Camaro also has it. We got Jason's 57, which will have it, 55, and so on. So also I've been looking at these tires here. They've been really growing on me. They're not like a full wide white tire. They're about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches wide white, but they are old. I've been using them for just rollers. They're on Krager wheels, pretty basic setup, but they're definitely growing on me and giving the car its own look. However, yesterday, rolling around, this thing decided to come apart on me here, so that's kind of a bummer. I wasn't really planning on running these anyway, but now I'm definitely not. So I had this set of wheels and tires laying around at the house. They came off my 59 Biscayne. Originally the wheels came off my 54 Chevy Bel Air, which I still have. It's been over 25 years, still not done. BF Goodrich wide white tires, kind of a traditional look, which nothing wrong with that, but this other style here was growing on me. So if you know where to get them, let me know, comment, message me, whatever you need to do. I'm probably gonna go that route. I like that look now, but yeah. Now that we got all that stuff together and painted and cleaned, all that's left is everything. I think it's time to get busy. So I ripped out the power steering rack right here. I need to modify the end where that attaches to the U-joint there, and put it back in. So what I'm trying to do is clear the alternator. I was hoping that this whole rack would rotate, but it doesn't. It's pretty fixed, which isn't a bad thing, but we need to clear that alternator. So I'm gonna go TIG that. I'll be right back. So now that I got the rack all tigged up, I just modified the end where the universal goes. So everything's good to go. It's loose so I can clock it. I got the steering column. We also went and painted this portion of it blue so it didn't stand like a sore thumb. This will disappear under the dash. Special thanks to Devin Kelly for getting this firewall painted and some of the blue stuff. It's just been crazy busy here, and he's helped out a lot, keeping me moving forward on this thing. So I guess the game plan is to get the steering situated. I'm gonna get from the rack, get the column placed in there, take off our engine lift plate here, bolt on a manifold, make sure I got all the clearances I need. And at least at that point, this thing will be mobile. I'll probably end up pulling the column back out when we do the wiring on it. But for now, I'll get that portion done. Still needs to be fit and all that stuff, I guess. Final assembly on all the linkage and stuff, which I didn't do last time. I was waiting on Universal in the other video. Got everything now, so let's get it together. We got the column in place, temporary. We bolted it in. I'll get the firewall side connected to the power rack. Just looking at the shifter location, we're putting a low car shifter in there, and I know that we're gonna have to notch a little bit for the arm to clear and all that stuff, but I might go ahead and do that as well. So get that taken care of before we dynamat. Real nice patchwork right there. Probably knock it down a little bit and then smooth it over. So anyway, columns in, looks great. So yeah, let's get to the firewall side, and I'm gonna throw a clamp on here and then connect A to B after we get the manifold on. Let's do it. I have to show you guys this. This made me chuckle a little bit. Taking off the engine mount, peeking down inside this wiper. Look at the transmission arms here. I don't know if you can see that. What in the heck is going on there? 1, 2, 3, 4-piece wiper arm. That side over there has been split too. Why? For entertainment purposes, I'm gonna fire up this wiper motor here at some point and just see what in tarnation is going on in there. Why would you do that? Why would you need to do that? Anyway, now I guess I'm looking for some arms. I'll probably run bullets on there anyway, not even run wipers, but anyway, thought you needed to see that. Steering is going to work out really good in this. So I went with the Borgeson Universal here, stainless 3/4 double D shaft down to the uni steer power rack, and I got enough clearance under here to spin. It's not hitting the cross member. Everything looks like it's going to be happy. So I also put on some Hooker exhaust manifolds. The Hooker manifolds are what we typically run on a lot of our rigs here. They keep the heat down, they flow well, and I don't have leak issues like some headers that I have. You know, not all, but some. Just trying to keep this one simple. So anyway, steering looks really good. I marked where all the set screws are. What I'm going to do is divot the rods or drill through just to help lock all that in so it doesn't move or fall out when it's being driven. Definitely don't want the steering coming apart on me when we're driving. So yeah, that's good news. I didn't have to run a Heim and 2 bars, you know, 3 U-joints set up there. It's just the one shot. Doesn't get a whole lot easier than that. It's almost like this motor was made for this car. All right, you can see these little marks on there. right there and there. Those are from the set screws right there. It's also on the other end. It's a little mark. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's where I'm going to drill little divots for the set screws to lock into, help keep this thing from sliding around. So that's my next move. Drill those, get this thing put together. Almost too smooth. We'll see. Alright, so here are the notches I put in the end of this guy. Now we'll keep these little set screws in place. We'll put a little Loctite on it as well. I just need to do the end of the column and we can bolt this sucker together. Got all the linkage put in. Went ahead and drilled and tapped this guy, and it goes all the way through the inside of that column there to help lock it in. We got jam nuts in here, also dimpled, and then the bottom universal. So everything clears really well. It's tight, but it looks good. I think that'll work. And I can get the exhaust buttoned up here, waiting on some gaskets for this. We like to run the Remflex gaskets. I never really had any issues with them, so we'll get those, snug them up. I did already run exhaust all the way back on this, well, to the back tires, and I'm gonna try to snake it up and over the axle. It's very tight in there. As soon as you lay this car out, tires go up in there and not much room in there, so but that's good. I'll throw the clamp on there and I'll be done with that. I was going to put the power booster on here and stuff, but I am waiting for the brackets to come back from powder coat, and plenty of stuff to do on here. I'll just keep on chasing it. Now that the steering's all buttoned up on this thing, I think I'm going to move on to the power steering lines. We have our pressure line here, and then a return going through this cooler line. I'm going to eliminate all that stuff, but I think I can modify this pressure line to work with that rack fitting down there, and then the return's easy enough. So that's what I'm going to work on now. I got the high pressure line all built right here. I just took the original one right off there, shortened it, flared it, put a 6 fitting on it, and then so we got the return line here, which is this mess through here. It's kind of a cooler line running through there. I'm gonna bypass all that stuff, so we got a normal radiator hose, and then pull this return line right here, bring it on down to here, and then power steering should be done. So everything's going pretty smoothly, other than the fittings box I just turned upside down. That was fun. But all right, let's make some lines here. Power steering lines are all done. Pretty happy with how they came out. I mean, it was quick and easy. I just utilized the original lines that came off of the pump, went on down to the rack, and made this little piece right here. and then tied in. That's for the return, and then just tied it in there. So 6 fittings, super easy, nothing to it. So at this point, steering is totally done. Thank goodness. That was a nice little chunk to get checked off the list that I haven't made yet. And on to the next thing. Man, there's so many. Probably fuel system, I'm guessing. I'm trying to do as much stuff as I can since it's all right here, nice and open. But I think I'm going to jump to inside here, get the shifter, finish notching that, get that put in so I know where that's going. I know I'm going to have to clearance that side down there to make room for that arm there, but get that out of the way. And then back here I'll have to make a little tunnel to clear the drive line when it's aired out. Get that done. Try to get some of this interior stuff done so I can get on sealing that. And then yeah, I don't know, gaskets should be here on Monday, I'm thinking, and then figure out, got some AC fittings down there. They're gonna be real tight, but make that work. I need to make a bulkhead for here for the AC lines to come out and go in. I think I'm gonna go to the shifter mode. Jump on the shifter. Sorry, a little close there. Jump on the shifter, get that thing going. Okay, after tires. Looking good. It's got the fresh shoes on it. Well, freshly used shoes, but new to this car. I don't know, it might look all right. I do like some wide whites, but everything I have has wide whites on it, so. But this will work for now. I think it'll be good. And they're about 2 inches taller or shorter overall, so that'll give me an extra inch down. That'll be good. It'll be just about on the frame here when we're done, which is good. So I think I'm going to stare at this floor for a while and figure out my next move with the shifter location. Well, I'm gonna cut today short. I gotta run home, but right now I'm leaving off where I gotta trim this hole. I'm gonna make it much cleaner, but need to fit this shifter in there and basically make clearance for this arm right there. So that's where I'm leaving off. Real quick, guys, I'm gonna take you to the other side. Dane's been going to town on his truck. If you watched the last episode with his introduction, he's come a long ways on this thing, but it's pretty cool to see what he's doing. Right now he's forming wheel wells. It's pretty loud in there, so I'll just say it here. But forming his wheel wells, he's going for kind of a factory shape, but since the tires are tucking so far in there, need to raise them up. So instead of doing like trailer wheel wells, which a lot of people do, or no wheel wells, he's going to putting in the effort to make them look factory-ish, and I think it's killer. So let's go next door, check it out. It's gonna be loud. Hi, Dane. I'll sneak over there since he's not over there. So you can see in here what he's got to work with. He went big with it, cut it all out, moved his upper wheel well up. I don't want to give away too many secrets, but the key to it looking correct is having all the body lines line up with the original body lines. So what he's doing is grafting this lower half in here. Body line runs into it, making a new panel right here, filler panel. It's looking good, Dane. And then I think the plan is he's going to cover this notch here and run this body line through it. Still up in the air right now, but how's it going so far?
Good.
That's it?
That's it. It's good.
Good. Anyway.
It's getting hot and tired.
Yeah, it's getting hot. I'm about ready to bug out myself, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, making templates right here. Gonna cut that out of sheet metal. It'll fit in here. Close that all off. Nobody will know.
Yep.
It's gonna be a killer. So right now, just a side note, he's got the airbags jacked up in the back of this thing. And he's got about 14, 15 inches of lift on this thing. So quite a bit. Won't have any problem going over speed bumps in this thing, so.
Maybe in front, but.
Yeah. But anyway, should be pretty cool. Do another video part on this soon. Right, Dane?
Yep.
Yeah, he did good on the last one. So anyway, stay tuned on that one. And we'll be back for the next video soon. Good morning, guys. Today I'm going to tackle this low car shifter in the floor. Had a hole roughed in so I can stick it up through the bottom there when we put the engine tranny on. And today I'm going to put a shifter in. That'll allow us to seal the floor, and then there's no more mystery in it. I want to get all the trimming done while we can, and it's going to be a short day today, so see what we can do. So I ran into a little snag on the placement of the shifter. Originally I had this, this is a 12-inch single bend low car shifter, and it's too dang close to the dash. I'm out of adjustment on it. I did come up, we have a couple around here. This is actually for a bench seat style, but I think if I reverse it, I can make it clear the dash and everything. It's not really what I was after, but I think it'll fit. So I'll put this one, move this handle to this setup here and see how it fits. Well, unfortunately that didn't work. This shifter is, yeah, I tried flipping it around backwards and playing with location stuff, but the angle where that's at is just not going to work for this thing. So I'm thinking, I didn't want to have to, but I think I'm gonna have to notch this back and move these two brackets further back for it to fit perfect. So, well, then I could put the shifter in I wanted to anyway. So, guess I'll be doing a little cutting here. Step one done of the shifter. So I ended up notching it, and then these low cars come with different bracket or different locations to move the bracket forward and back. I ended up going with one notch back, so I can keep the shifter as far forward as possible. So a little tight around the dash here, but should be fine. That's park, bringing it on down, drive. Yeah, should be all right. I think that's gonna work. Now I got a big gaping hole right there. That's an easy thing to weld in there. This arm, which I have temporarily on there to help hold everything together, I need to swing down, so I am gonna come back and notch out some of this so that arm can fit through there fine, and that'll be the next step. fit on this thing, the more I got to trim back. It's hard to see, but yeah, you can see it here. This floor has had some kind of patchwork done at some point. They just overlaid it. It's kind of rough, and it's hanging up on this arm here. So I think I'm gonna just cut it down, get all that junk out of the way, and then set it up, and I'll just build a new cover for it once I got all the linkage dialed in for it. But all in all, I think it'll work out. It's just metal, right? Let's cut. Alright, shifter's in. Hole got bigger. Guess I'll be doing some metal work there. What I need to do now is hook up the linkage between the shifter and the side of the transmission. So I'll make sure that shifter is clocked correctly on the transmission side, cut the linkage to length, and then put it in there, and that part will be done for now. So then I could jump on figuring out this hole in the floor. So let's do it. All right, here's the old linkage from the bottom side. We got to connect it to this, but originally it was aimed down, so we need to pull this off, flip it up, and this transmission park is clockwise all the way, so it's in there all the way in park. So we're going to switch these arms around, get the right length, and we should be good to go. Shift linkage check. Alrighty, that's good. Well, now I got to build a hump for this. Obviously it's got to come up, clear this. So I'm gonna start making a pattern and get some metal burned in here. I couldn't just leave it there. This thing is a mess. You can start to see here all the different layers in there. I don't know if you can see that, but I've been chasing it back, and finally I just decided, no, I gotta cut all that junk out of there. So, well, it's a bigger hole, obviously, but make a nice fresh piece, start from scratch, get rid of all this garbage in there. I'll feel a little better. Alright, let's make pattern for real this time. Alright, got template all made here. This is just a rough in template, made a chipboard here. I'll transfer that to some sheet metal. This area here I'm gonna probably hammer and roll, kind of make like a blister to clear this linkage here. But this template here will get me in the ballpark, so I'm gonna bust out the main shape, cut out the hole for the shifter, and then we'll start working this area here and see if we can bring that out to clearance the arm there. So that's our next step. I got my template transferred over here, and real rough fitting, but basically copied my cardboard there. So this area here I want to bring out to clearance that arm that was coming through. So I made a pattern on the back side. I will take it over here to this guy. So we got a lead shot bag here and some shaping hammers. I got this nice curve to it here to help basically blister this metal outward, give it a nice shape, and then we'll run it through the wheels here, kind of tune it up a little bit. I do have some planishing hammers there I could use too. This is pretty small here, so we'll see how it shapes up first. That's the quick and dirty version of making a little blister here. Basically what that's going to do is give me clearance for the shifter arm, or at least that's the goal anyway. So I used a teardrop mallet to get the initial bump started, get the metal stretched out, and then switched over to the water valet planisher. I have some different dies that helped it along. And again, this is all just kind of rough in. I'll get it fit and see how much more I need to come out, if any. All right guys, that's going to do it for this weekend on the 58. Got the steering linkage in, all the lines ran, shifter linkage in. I had to cut a big old hole there, mostly to cut out all the old stuff that had been done in there before. There were some patches in there that didn't look that great. So we're in the process of building a new tunnel for it and building a blister to clear the arm on the low car shifter. Hopefully you guys like this particular style of format where I shoot. It's a little more in depth, a little more detailed on what we do around here, but we will continue to shoot videos for all the customers and on their cars as well. There's a bunch of different processes in here, and if there's something that you want to see, please comment below, whether it's wiring, plumbing, metalwork, motor swaps, you name it. We do just about everything here, and if you want to see more detail on it, then let us know. But other than that, I'm out for the weekend, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.